Hi, I'm Cheryl and welcome to my sewing room. I'm going to demonstrate how to make this really pretty, very decorative Christmas pillow. Now on the back you can see that it's got a sleeve so you can insert your existing pillows from your sofa. Less storage during and after the holiday season because you just have the cover to store. And then I'm going to show you how to put on this pom-pom fringe and this little trick I have for going around the corners. So let's get started. Now here is a pillow from my sofa. So the first thing you want to do is measure the size of your pillow. So you want to take the end of your tape measure and place the end of it right at the seam line where the front and back pieces meet. Drape the tape measure over the side. Whatever you do, don't push down on the pillow, and then see where it lands on the other seam. This one landed at 20 inches. So you want to then add 1 inch for seam allowance for that. So everything I'm going to be calculating from is from 21 inches, not 20, but 21 inches. For my pillow, I'm going to cut out a piece 21 inches by 21 inches that will be used on the front of the pillow. So whatever your pillow size is, plus 1 inch, cut out one piece that size. Also cut out a piece of cotton batting that same size. So my cotton batting is 21 by 21 inches. For the pillow back, take whatever your measurement was, plus your 1 inch for seam allowance, divide it by 2. So mine was 21 inches, so now it's 10.5 inches. Then I'm going to add 3 inches to it. So I'm going to cut out 2 pieces that are 13.5 inches by 21 inches. For the pom-pom fringe, you'll need, for this pillow that I'm making for my size, 2.5 yards. Take the cotton batting and put it behind on the back side of your piece of fabric for the front of the pillow. Then scatter straight pins around the top to hold it all together, because the next step is we're going to do quilting stitches. I also call it top stitching. It's the same thing. Now for this particular pillow, I'm going to use quilting thread. It's a thicker thread and it looks really good to use for your quilting stitches. This is a nice deep red and it goes with the deep red in the pillow. At the end of the video, I will tell you where you can get thread like this. Now here are some suggested patterns to stitch. There are straight stitches, so you could do them 2 to 3 inches apart over the front of the quilt. You can also do them on a diagonal like this. My favorite stitch is this quilting stitch I have on my sewing machine. I use it all the time, and this is what it looks like when it's done on a diagonal. So if you want to do stitches on a diagonal, take your piece and turn it so that you're going corner to corner. Start in the middle, then work your way out every 2 to 3 inches, and then go over to the other side. Then you would turn it and repeat. Start in the middle and work your way out on each side. On the 2 pieces for the back, you want to go to your ironing board and press just one of the long edges and fold it over 1/4 inch and then press all the way down. Fold it again and then press. Do that on both pieces on just one side. Then at your sewing machine, you're going to stitch right along this edge all the way down. And again, you do it on both pieces. Take the front piece of fabric for the pillow and lay it face up. Take your pom-pom fringe and begin pinning it, start pinning it in the middle on one side. Then as you're coming towards a corner, to make it easier to go around the corner, it'll be really easy to bend it around if you do a little slit in the fringe itself. So with a pair of scissors, just reach in there and cut. But don't cut all the way through. Leave some of the threads attached. So when you come to the corner, it will just go around that corner really, really easy. After you got it pinned on, then at your sewing machine, go ahead and stitch right in here to stitch the fringe down. Two things I forgot to mention earlier is that when you are cutting your fringe, at some point you're going to be bringing the two ends together. Before you cut that fringe all the way through, place a piece of tape and wrap around it and then cut. This way it won't unravel. And when I brought the two ends together, I just left the tape there because no one's going to see it because it's going to be inside of the seam. The other thing I forgot to mention is when you go to stitch on the pom-pom fringe, use your zipper foot. The reason behind that is that when you are stitching, it just goes along really smooth without trying to get your regular presser foot up over those pom-poms. So make sure you use your zipper foot. Before you stitch the pieces for the back of the pillow, measure the width of this part of the fringe. So measure from the lower edge to the top edge. And then you're going to stitch slightly below that amount. So in other words, mine is 1/2 inch. So I'm going to stitch slightly below 1/2 inch. So lay your first piece for the back over it and line it up on all three edges here. And then you're going to begin stitching along here. But when you're stitching, make sure you have the zipper foot still on. So go ahead and stitch this first piece on the back using slightly under 1/2 inch for your seam allowance. When you come to corners, stop that 1/2 inch or so from this side over here. Leave your needle down, lift up the presser foot, turn your pillow so that you don't lose your spot, so that needle is holding it all in place. Then begin stitching down the next two sides. If you're not sure you're catching all of what you need in that seam, stitch a few inches, turn it out right front side out, and look at your edge to see how it's coming along, because you want to make sure. So your edge, I don't know how well you can see it, should be rather clean. Just a little bit of the ribbon band part that holds it all together should show. So if it all looks good, continue stitching. After you finish stitching on your first piece that goes on the back, then you're going to take your second piece and lay it over that. Remember, they're going to overlap in the back. You're creating a little sleeve so that you can tuck the pillow inside. So go ahead and stitch your second piece on just like you did the first piece. Now, before you turn the pillow front side out, you want to trim some of this bulk off the corner. So do a little cut across this way. Now you might need your rotary cutter because this is kind of thick in here for my scissors. So trim some of it off like that. Then go out to the side and trim some off. And then of course go ahead and trim some off on this other side over here. So do that on all four corners. Then you can turn your pillow front side out. To put the pillow inside, you just lift up the top flap on the back and insert the pillow in. And then you reach underneath the pillow, grab the other piece, and push the pillow inside. Fluff the pillow out till everything is all nice and straight, and then you've got a really gorgeous pillow. Well, here's what it looks like on my sofa. I really like the way it turned out. So all I have to do is make a pillow for the other side. Well, 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 it looks like Mr. Cameraman just decided to take a nap. So let's all be quiet. Shh. If you liked this video, click on thumbs up, and don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click on that red subscribe button in the lower right hand corner of your screen. Then enter your email address, click on that little bell so you receive future email notifications about my latest video. I'm Cheryl. This is Manny. We'll see you next time, and happy sewing.